Something is going on behind the scenes of Live with Kelly and Mark, and fans are asking the same question all over social media. Where is she, and why won't she be back until next month? Stick around, because we're breaking down everything we know about this developing story. If you've tuned in to Live with Kelly and Mark, recently expecting the usual chemistry, banter, and chaos between one of daytime TV's most beloved on-screen couples, you may have noticed something's different. According to a report from Syracuse.com, the popular talk show host will not be returning to air until next month, a piece of news that has quickly caught fire across entertainment circles and fan communities. For a show that thrives on consistency, familiarity, and that easy husband and wife rapport, any extended absence is bound to spark questions. And in today's video, we're diving into the background, the buzz, and what this could mean for the future of the show. So if you're a fan of Kelly Ripa, Mark Consuelos, or daytime television in general, you're going to want to stay with us for this one. To understand why this story is generating so much attention, it helps to look at just how big Live with Kelly and Mark actually is, and how we got here. Kelly Ripa has been a fixture of daytime television for over 2 decades. She first stepped into the co-host chair back in 2001 alongside Regis Philbin, taking over a legacy that dated back to the days of Live with Regis and Kathy Lee. When Regis eventually departed the show in 2011, Kelly became the anchor of the franchise, later welcoming Michael Strahan as her co-host, followed by Ryan Seacrest, who held the seat for several years. Then, in 2023, the show took what many considered its most natural turn yet. Kelly's real-life husband, Mark Consuelos, officially joined as her permanent co-host. For longtime viewers, this wasn't exactly a surprise. Mark had been a familiar face on the show for years, frequently stepping in as a guest host whenever Kelly's rotating cast of co-hosts needed a break, and audiences consistently responded to the genuine spark between the two. Kelly and Mark actually met on the set of the soap opera All My Children back in 1995, fell in love, and got married in 1996, making them one of the rare celebrity couples whose relationship has not only lasted decades in Hollywood, but has now become part of their professional brand as well. Since Mark officially joined as co-host, the show rebranded to Live with Kelly and Mark, and it's leaned heavily into their real marriage as the core appeal. The teasing, the disagreements over parenting, the stories about their 3 kids, and the kind of unscripted, lived-in chemistry that's genuinely hard to fake on television. It's a format that has clearly resonated, keeping the show firmly in the conversation as one of the most-watched daytime programs in the country. Now, according to the reports circulating this week, one half of that dynamic duo will be stepping away from the show, with word coming down that they won't be back on air until next month. For a program built so heavily around the day-to-day presence of its hosts, any kind of extended break immediately raises eyebrows and immediately raises questions. Was this planned time off? A scheduling shift tied to another project? A health matter? A family commitment? At this stage, without confirmed specifics from the show or its network, fans are largely left to speculate, and speculation is exactly what's been filling the gap. What we do know is that this kind of announcement doesn't happen quietly. When a host of this caliber steps away from a daily national broadcast for weeks at a time, producers typically have to make real decisions: who steps in, how the schedule shifts, and how to keep the show's rhythm intact without its usual anchor in the chair. It's worth remembering that this isn't unprecedented territory for the Live franchise. Over the years, the show has weathered co-host departures, guest hosting rotations, and even entire format changes, and it has managed to come out the other side with its audience largely intact. Still, there's something different about an abrupt, unexplained gap involving one of the 2 hosts' audiences have come to see as a package deal. Kelly and Mark's appeal isn't just about individual charisma. It's about the 2 of them together, playing off each other in real time. Take one half of that equation off the air for a month, and the entire dynamic of a show inevitably shifts, at least temporarily. As you'd expect, the internet did not stay quiet about this. Within hours of the news breaking, fan pages and entertainment forums lit up with theories, well wishes, and no shortage of concern. Longtime viewers took to social media to express everything from casual curiosity to genuine worry, with many pointing out that this kind of extended absence is unusual for a host known for such a consistent, high-energy presence on the show. Entertainment outlets have also been quick to pick up the story, largely because Kelly and Mark's day-to-day banter has become such a reliable ratings draw that any disruption to the format is treated as newsworthy in its own right. Comment sections have filled with fans sending supportive messages, others jokingly demanding an explanation, and plenty of viewers simply asking the same question on repeat. When exactly is the return happening, and why the wait until next month specifically? Until an official, detailed explanation comes from the show itself, expect that chatter to keep building, because in the world of daytime TV fandom, silence tends to generate even more noise than an announcement would. So why does this actually matter beyond the surface-level curiosity? For one, it's a reminder of just how fragile and valuable that on-screen chemistry really is. Live with Kelly and Mark isn't just another daytime talk show. It's a franchise built on decades of trust with its audience, and a big part of that trust comes from consistency. Viewers tune in every single weekday, expecting a certain rhythm, a certain energy, and above all, the two familiar faces bantering across that desk. When one of those faces disappears for an extended stretch, it forces the show to adapt in real time, whether that means bringing in guest hosts, restructuring segments, or leaning more heavily on pre-tape content. For Kelly and Mark individually, this kind of moment also puts a spotlight on their careers outside the show. Both have built substantial resumes beyond Live, Kelly with her extensive producing credits and decades of television experience, and Mark with his own acting career, including his long run on Riverdale. Any absence naturally invites questions about whether other opportunities, personal matters, or simply the need for rest are pulling focus, and how the show plans to balance that going forward. More broadly, this story is also a snapshot of where daytime television currently stands. In an era where streaming and short-form content dominates so much of the entertainment conversation, a live morning talk show holding this much cultural relevance says a lot. The fact that a single host's temporary absence can become national entertainment news shows just how much power personality-driven daytime programming still holds over audiences. So what happens next? In the short term, expect the show to continue on with a rotating cast of guest hosts or a modified format until the confirmed return date arrives. Networks typically use these gaps as opportunities to test new on-air chemistry, occasionally previewing potential future co-hosts or giving other personalities a moment in the spotlight. It wouldn't be surprising to see familiar faces from past seasons step in temporarily to fill the void. Looking further ahead, once the full return is confirmed, don't be shocked if the comeback episode leans directly into the story itself. Daytime hosts are famous for addressing their own headlines head-on, often with humor, sometimes with heartfelt honesty. That first episode back could end up being one of the most watched of the year, simply because audiences will be tuning in specifically to hear the explanation straight from a source. There's also the broader question of what this means for the show's format going forward. Will this prompt any structural changes, additional scheduled breaks, or a shift in how the show handles co-host availability moving forward? Only time will tell, but if history is any indication, Live with Kelly and Mark has consistently found ways to bounce back from disruptions and keep its audience engaged. To sum it all up, one of daytime television's most talked about hosts is stepping away from Live with Kelly and Mark until next month, and while the exact reasoning remains unclear at this stage, the ripple effect across fans and entertainment media has been immediate and significant. It's a reminder of just how much weight this show's chemistry carries and how invested audiences remain in the everyday lives of Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. Whatever the reason behind the break, one thing seems certain. When that return date finally arrives, people will be watching closely. So now we want to hear from you. What do you think is really behind this extended absence? Do you think it's simply a planned break, or is there more to the story than we currently know? Drop your thoughts and predictions down in the comments below, and let us know how you feel about the future of Live with Kelly and Mark. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more entertainment news updates, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story as it develops. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.